Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2, the Grand Combination, with me, Alpha by Omega, and the Ottoman Empire. So the date is 1896, and it's time for another Intermezzo episode, which will show us how our population is doing, and how our people are doing, and how's our production doing. And I have to say, most of these stats are making me really happy. Despite the fact that we haven't really been able to expand much, things are looking really nicely up. So let's start with population. I'm putting it on screen right now, and you can see a huge increase. So in 1886, 10 years ago, we had 41.68 million people, and now we have 47,620,000 people, with a working population of almost 12 million. That is just growth. That's actually a ton of growth when you think about it. We've gained more than 1.5 million people as extra working population in just 10 years. That's, amazing. Anyway, workforce split. So farmers went down by 1.6% to 69.4%. Laborers are at the same level actually, 14.9%. But it's not a big surprise because the population really grew quite significantly. So the fact that they are holding on their share is understandable. Artisans dropped from 5.2 to 4.9%. Intellectuals remained at 1.7%. Landowners dropped slightly from 1.3 to 1.2%. Soldiers dropped from 3.1 to 3%, akin to the fact that we're not funding the military that much, and we've suffered some casualties previously, so I understand why it would go down. Bureaucrats, though, went from 1.2 to 1.3%, a record number, and craftsmen jumped from 1.4% to 3.2%, so they more than doubled. It's crazy, really. And capitalists still at 0. I wonder if we're gonna see them at least 0.1%. But, we're working on that really, really hard. Now, religion. Sunni Muslim went down from 54.7 to 54%, which is kind of weird. I don't know how that happened. Eastern Orthodox remained at 23.2%, no difference. Same with Oriental Orthodox, 9.7%. Alevi Muslim dropped from 2.9 to 2.7%. Catholic somehow increased from 3.6 to 4.8. It looks like we had an influx of Christian people. I don't get it. It's really interesting to see. And Shia Muslim decreased from 3.8 to 3.7%. And now the one that you are waiting for, culture. We've actually had only a slight difference in culture. Turkish population went from 30.6 to 30.7%, so 0.1% difference. But again, with the population growth, it is still pretty nice. Greek population remained at 13.1%. Bulgarian dropped from 6.3 to 5.9%. Armenian remained the same at the 9.4%. Serbian is at 2% now. Great increase from 1.4%. Again, not entirely sure where that comes from. Albanian dropped from 4.7 to 4.4%. Mashriki dropped from 10.6 to 10.4%. And Kurdish dropped from 4.1 to 4%. Really interesting to see that there was a rise in Catholic people, and they seem to be, quite interestingly. Serbian. Don't know what happened. We didn't have any Serbian uprisings from what I guess we had some kind of hidden event or something, because it seems like an influx of Serbian people hit us. Anyway, last thing from the population side, ideology. So conservatives increased slightly from 46.4 to 48%, which makes me a little bit happy. Liberals, almost the same, 27% a decade ago, now 26.8%. Reactionary increased from 6.3 to 7, which is interesting. Radicals dropped from 8.7 to 7.3, so a significant decrease. And socialists are now at 10.8 from 11.7. So it looks like people are walking back to conservative. I guess that might be because we have them as a governing party, or maybe people are doing sort of good. I'm not sure what it's about. Now, prediction. As before, I'm gonna keep putting them on the screen alone, one by one, so you can see the differences. So, military goods, we actually have a drop in everything except canned food. You can see that the drop is actually kind of significant, with ammunition from 26 to less than 8, firearms from 14.6 to 4.1, heavy armament from 6.7, okay, there's an increase, from 6.7 to 9.9, and canned food, slight increase from 75 to almost 80. So, there is a slight variation, but still huge drops across the board. Raw materials, we still don't have any cotton or dyes. Wool increased from 375 to 404. Silk increased from 17.6 to 19. Coal went up from 186 to 207, so a slight increase. Sulfur from 46.7 to 47.9. Metals from 97 to 114. And wood from 52 to 56. And last but not least, precious goods from 12.4 to 13.4. Now, we didn't have any major breakthroughs or discoveries, so I think most of this growth is connected just to population increase. Maybe with the exception of metals, where I think we've had one or two breakthroughs. Industrial goods. So, alloys from 5.4 to 19.5, big increase. Same with cement from 4.7 to 20.9, really nice increase. Machinery from 0.4 to almost 5. Glassware. We're a glassware powerhouse. We previously had in 1876 171, then we had a huge drop to 105, and now we're at 191.3, so a record number. By far a record number, actually. No fuel, fertilizer dropped to about half to 15.2, chemicals at 7.5, which is less than 1/4 of what we had 10 years ago. We were at 32.3, so there was obviously some kind of crisis in this industry. Clippers went from 2.6 to 2.7, and textiles from 555 to 529. So, producing a little bit less carpets, but it's nice. And timber, finally we get some timber factories, 1.8 to 101.5. Finally, timber is no longer going to be an issue. And last but not least, consumer goods. So, there are increases across the board here as well, with some variations, but generally speaking, paper from 10 to 14, livestock from 54 to 64, fish 55 to 60.9, produce from 326.7 to 373.2, grain from 413 to 391. Okay, so a little bit decrease over here, but again, that is a small variation. Tobacco 71.8 to 82.7, really nice. We finally have some tea, 2.6. We have coffee, 8.3 to 9. Opium from 9.5 to 10.8. Again, increase almost everywhere. Wine from 57.3 to 104, so nearly double. Beverages from 38.8 to 10.4. Okay, there is a significant drop here. Not sure what happened there. Clothing, relatively the same, 112 to 93, so a small decrease, about 10%. Luxury clothing, though, from 62.8 to 82, which offsets that. Maybe people are just richer and buying more luxury clothing. Luxury furniture from 17.4 to 36. We started producing luxury furniture as well, from 0 to 6.5. And pharmaceuticals from 35.9 to 71. So again, double. We started also producing soap from 0 to 4.7. So you can see the economy is doing great. Most of the things went up. We are doing good. I mean, we would be doing significantly better if we actually took some more, some more technologies in industry. We haven't really invested in this, and most of these would give us a huge boost. As you can see, compound steam engine, regenerative furnaces, organic chemistry, and even the urban railroad, which increases the RGO throughput. But we have been really focusing on army and a little bit on society. We're trying to get the phenomenology, and it is what it is. We're doing what we can. Now, politics. No, not politics, diplomacy, because we want to see the great powers. So I'm going to put it on the screen below. I've actually compounded the great powers just so you can see the differences. What to say about that? Well, not much. United Kingdom is the powerhouse. It's the mitochondria of our economy. Russia, however, right behind it. The difference in the score is 38 points, which, considering they both got over 9,000. Hey, memes. it's pretty minuscule. Japan is third with 6,114. Germany at 5,331, fourth position. USA 5,424. French Republic 5,208. Kingdom of Italy is 7th, 2,518. And Spain 1,982. And our score is measly 1,149 points. Well, what can you do? I mean, we're doing our best. We are still on the ledger, in secondary powers. Chugging along behind Canada, Netherlands, and Austria-Hungary. But we're trying real hard to catch up. Almost everything we're doing is, going after that. Anyway, let's look at some things here. Diplomatic map mode. I'd have to unpause it to show you the relations. Okay, would you work now, please? Well, it doesn't work. No, wait, actually it does. Sorry. I mistaken it with this map, the relations map. So you can see pretty much everybody except Austria-Hungary and the neighboring puppets and France and Spain likes us, which is good because Germany, Italy, Russia, and Great Britain are all, the ones that are gonna fabricate our future at one point or another. Administrative map mode, not much to say. Colonial, not much to say there. Recruitment, where our soldiers are coming from. National focus, again, we're focusing on the core territories of our naval map mode. There's nothing there. RGO output, not much to say there. Population density. Interestingly, Adana, or actually no, not Adana, Ankara is, together with Constantinople, the most densely populated. Now Ankara has more, but Constantinople is significantly smaller, and actually Constantinople has a much higher growth. 346. No immigration though. We can get an immigration, but the growth is really interesting. I haven't really checked that before. Constantinople have just two provinces, Constantinople itself and Iskidar, which is today's Istanbul together, both parts of the area, while Ankara has 318. Yeah, there's more provinces, interestingly. How's Iskidar doing? The growth here is also pretty nice. Alright, well, interesting. Culture. Well, the central area is firmly Turkish. We still have some areas here that are being Turkified. Well, what would be the, I guess, because it's Ottomanization, so this would be Turkization? Turkized? That's a real word, I guess, but still. We're not really doing all that great. In some places, though, the population is increasing pretty nicely. 54% Turkish already here in Gelibolu. We have a growing Turkish minority in Western Thrace overall, so that's nice. I don't know how these are doing. Yeah, there are growing Turkish minorities in quite a lot of these areas. 4% Turkish. Okay, so we got only these two. This one is already someone else's territory. Selanik. Can say it would be bad. If you want to see the wider shot, let me just show it like this. We got Mashriki over here, and this is, well, that's Egypt, and here we got Avibi still. So I don't think we're getting any Turkish population in these ones, are we? No, they're too far, too detached. Sphere of influence, not much to say here. Supply map mode, party loyalty map mode, that's interesting. Ranking, well, we're a secondary power. So is Austria-Hungary at this point. So is China, it's 15th. Interesting, even with the population it has. Jesus Christ, there's 100 million people. Actually, that's a working population. So they got even more, right? Yeah, that's a working population. So they got 400 million people, basically. Interesting. Migration. Do we have any migration? Yes, we got still migration to the United States. Very limited to Canada. Is Netherlands still getting anything? Nope. Sweden immigration. Austria, and they're immigrating to Germany. And from Germany, they're immigrating to Brazil, Peru, Venezuela, and to Austria-Hungary. Oh, that's an immigration from Germany. All right. And wait, American Morocco. I missed that. All right. United States won war and gained American Morocco. Alright, why not? And they of course got Liberia here. American West Africa. Or I mean, what's gonna be Liberia eventually. Alright. Anything else here? Civilization level. Do we have any crises? Well, we have a lot of flashpoint tensions in the Balkans, of course. And there's a lot in Italy as well. And minor flashpoint tensions in other areas. Even in the United States, between Brazil and Peru. That's not surprising, I guess. Alright, and ledger. Here we can see how things are going. Brazil right behind us, though the difference is the same as between us and Dominion of Canada. I would be really happy if we could just jump over them. That would be great. Dominion of Canada, behind Netherlands, and behind Austria-Hungary, secondary powers. So, alright. I hope you enjoyed this Intermezzo episode. It's a little bit shorter. I felt like rushing through. Because, you see me deal with these things, in most episodes. So just giving you a little bit of an overview. But as far as population goes, I think we can be happy. We got a decent growing population, which, probably puts others to shame. Yeah, we now have a higher population than Austria-Hungary. About Spain. Yeah, we got significantly higher than Spain. Actually, surprisingly so. What about Italy? Yeah, we have a higher population than Italy as well. Interesting. UK has almost 9 million. But that's because of India. So that's not really relevant. How much does Iran has? 2.26. Alright. Well, that's not major. And Germany has 14. Okay, we're catching up to Germany even. Interesting. Well, alright. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, then I'll see you in the next episode.